During the Democratic primaries in 2019, building up to the 2020 election, we had tons of candidates available, right? There was a lot. And for me, Julian Castro was the one. He could have gotten us so far in terms of racial relations, in terms of racial justice, immigration. He had all the right policies. And of course, this country don't want a Mexican for president. We ain't ready for that. So this is what we ended up with. We ended up with Joe Biden, right? And just like in the 2016 election where Hillary Clinton was basically a shoe in, right? The Democrats elevated Donald Trump. They helped him get to win the nomination for the Republican Party because to them he was going to be easy to beat. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? You can't blame anybody for Trump, but the Democrats really. And now, this upcoming election is Joe Biden's to lose. In 2019, I wrote this article talking about his unchecked prejudice. During the debates, he showed us, when he talked about how, black people don't know how to raise their own kids. How somebody from the outside needs to come into their home and teach them. And I mean, I don't know how much more racist you can get than that. Um, and then, him getting in Latinos' faces, immigrant rights groups and stuff, when they were trying to talk to him about immigration policies, he gets in their face telling them, why don't you vote for Trump then? Like, come on, man. He showed us who he was. That's why I wrote this article. Because he showed us who he was, and that didn't matter to the vast majority of the voting bloc in this country. So, like Hillary Clinton, white people elevated this guy, and this is who we got stuck with. And in 2019, we were told if we don't vote for him, yada yada, right? Donald Trump's going to win, and this, that, and the other, and everything. Now they're saying the same things. And look, I'm not saying I'm not going to vote, and I'm not going to tell you who I vote for. I don't talk about that. That's for me and my family, and I like to look forward. And let's be honest, had this country elected Donald Trump last time, 2020, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd be talking about two totally different candidates. Joe Biden wouldn't even be in the picture. And the future, moving forward, would be a lot brighter and we'd be having a much broader conversation. But we didn't, right? So we got Biden. And once again, it's Biden against Trump. Unless Trump, of course, goes to prison, which 52% of Republicans said they wouldn't vote for him. And that kind of opens the door, right? And then, both of these guys are up there in age. And, if they both keeled over tomorrow, it's going to be Kamala Harris against somebody on the Republican side. But I'll be honest, I would really appreciate it if somebody else got in the election. Um, this is a tough one because, you know, this dude who promised all these things during the summer of 2020 protests after George Floyd was murdered ended up giving police 35 billion more dollars. He's trying to give ICE another 900 million dollars without any oversight. Like all that stuff is there. So, it kind of goes without saying that we've been put in a bind, because when you look, we've seen what his policies are on immigration. And despite all the things he said on the campaign trail about protecting asylum and all these things, that's on the table now. And that's, coming across the border and seeking asylum in the U.S., he talked about how that's a right that he intends to protect. And now it's kind of questionable whether that's going to happen, whether that protection's going to be there. And, the wall through Texas, allowing these governors to just pass these laws. Nobody's fighting them back, not the DOJ, not Merrick Garland, his attorney general, not anyone. And, for 4 years we heard silence is complicity when Trump was in office. Is it still not? Because it is to me.